All right. Excuse me. Sorry. So, welcome to episode 5. Um, I've been on vacation, but you know what? It's not the reason why there was a big gap. If you're subscribing to this, if you've subscribed since episode 1 and then you notice after episode 4, biglang nagkaroon ng gap. Um, Tapos ngayon lang si episode 5 ulit, no? So why? Yes, I've been on vacation, pero that was what, 2 weeks? Pero ngayon lang may episode 5 ulit. So I'll explain why. Yeah. I told myself na I didn't have time. Vacation, syempre, before vacation, I had to make sure everything at work was, whatever loose ends there were, I had to tie it. And then, syempre, pagbalik, I had to catch up. Ganyan, yung mga meetings that I set while I was out. Tapos, so, basically, I was telling myself I didn't have time. Um, pero there were a couple of days na sabi ko, okay, game na. Let's record na ulit. So my process usually is, so though it sounds very raw, di ba? I have notes para lang hindi ako super nagda-digress. I even had a meeting, well, I'm digressing now, pero I even have the meeting one time na just to be sure na hindi ako mag-digress, talaga sinulat ko lahat word for word what I wanted to say beforehand. Tapos binasa ko siya sa meeting. No? So I write my notes. And during the time sabi ko, sige, we'll shoot episode number 5. Um, I found myself uninspired. Parang, I didn't want to feel na kung ano lang, para lang may masabi just for the sake of having a 50th episode. No? So I wasn't inspired. At least I was telling myself that I wasn't inspired. And yung medyo real part talaga of it was, um, I like doing this. I like recording. But siguro when I launched this, I had expectations na this would be awesome and it would show sa results, meaning maraming mag-subscribe. But well, I didn't see what I expected, which was, isip ko, uy, yun dami subscribe, kasi dami ng mga friends, ganyan, tapos parang wala. No? So, I would be lying if I said that it didn't affect um, yung motivation and inspiration. And the result of all these was, obviously, there was no episode. And those results came from my behavior, di ba? Didn't have enough time, me wanting to be inspired first, me reacting to, basing my actions um, on how much subscribers or listens the podcast had at this point. No, so those are results. And with any result that happens in our lives, with any outcome that happens in our lives, it always is a result. Sorry. So any outcomes that we have in our lives, it's always a result of our behavior, of our actions. Diba? If um, if I want to lose weight, I use weight loss exercise again. Weight loss example again. If I want to lose weight, the action would be to exercise, to diet, and the result would be weight loss. Diba? So results always follow behavior. And here's the thing. Sometimes you will see, and you probably experienced this, that behaviors and actions, especially if you want to change it, they don't last. How many people have tried, again, weight loss, how many people have tried to change their diet or change their exercise, and they see a bit of result, or sometimes wala, no? So they change their actions and with the intention to change the result, but usually bumabalik pa rin sa old patterns or old habits. So pag bumalik sa old patterns or habits yung behavior, bumabalik yung result, diba? So like for me, for example, when I tried to do keto, I changed my diet, changed a lot of stuff with regards to my fitness and health in an effort to change yung weight ko. And it did. Pumayat ako saglit. But after a month or two, I basically switched back. Sabi ko, ayoko na mag-keto. And the result came back. Bumalik ako sa weight ko, which is 82 kilos. So results follow behavior. But changing your behavior is not enough for you to change your results. And with the example, and you've probably seen it in other aspects, then it's not always the case. Why is that? Kasi behavior naman, our actions are what we do, and we talk about this in, I think, episode 2, it follows our identity. No? So yun yung flow niya. You have your identity, and based on your identity, doon nagbe-base yung actions and behavior natin. And those are what contribute to the results or to the outcomes we have in life. Na, siguro, what I was operating from during that weight loss thing, no, was that no matter what I did, I was fat. No? In my mind, I was fat. Ang identity ko was I was a fat person. I was a fat person trying to get thin. And that was the keyword. Yung identity ko was, number 1, I was fat. Number 2, I was trying. I was trying to be thin. So, yung my behavior was geared towards, hey, I'm a fat guy trying to be thin. This is me doing keto trying to be thin. But wait, remember, ang identity ko is I'm a fat guy. So it made the diet and the lifestyle really hard for me. Kasi in my mind, it goes against who I was. I'm a fat guy. Diba? So the results was still, hindi ko na-sustain yung keto, and then I was still a fat guy. Someone recently asked me about this, and I think this is what got me inspired to do this episode about identity, is someone asked me about being a DJ. I shared na one of my dreams was to become a DJ, and I got to fulfill it. And then he was asking me how I was able to do it, na parang for him, nagbabackseat yung, and I might be paraphrasing now, nagbabackseat yung passion for DJing, for music, because of other things. And for me, I remember what worked for me, or what I identified, was that I've always identified as a frustrated DJ. No, and when you're a frustrated DJ, you're someone na gusto mag-DJ pero maybe life got in the way na hindi mo na lang natuloy, no? And because my identity was that, my behavior, I didn't allow myself to pursue it. Kasi if I pursued it, then that would make me a DJ, going against my belief of what my identity was. And my identity was, I was a frustrated DJ. Diba? So, parang the behavior, nasa-self-sabotage siya, even though, parang before I was in Malaysia noon, nag-search na ako dati ng mga DJ lessons. So it was there. I could have easily gotten them. Pero why didn't I? No? Parang there was part of me self-sabotaging na, hindi naman mangyayari yan for me. Hindi yan magiging parang hindi ako maging okay na DJ, I'm late to the party. So I'll just stay with the identity of a frustrated DJ. And the result was, I wasn't a DJ. Diba? I stayed with my identity as a frustrated DJ. I actually took lessons na before. Pero walang nangyari kasi nga, ang identity ko was I was a frustrated DJ. My identity was I was just dreaming of becoming a DJ. It was only in 2017 when I actually broke through and allowed myself na hindi ako frustrated DJ. I am a DJ. I am a lover of music. I can make people happy with music. And it was then na focus ko na, sure, bahala na. Kahit I have work, I have a lot to do, gagawa ko ng panahon yung pag-DJ. And I was able to. No? So, ang laki nung nagagawa in terms of result when you change your identity, not just the behavior. Kasi I think usually some people or some influencers, they focus on the behavior. Diba? Just do it, take massive action, basta go lang ng go, just do yung si Shia LaBeouf, yung siyang do it, which makes sense naman kasi doing it or doing whatever you need to do gets you to what you want to have, no? But if your identity is you're someone who is, you believe that you're not worthy of the result, or you believe na hindi mo kaya yung massive action na kailangan i-take, then it's not sustainable, and chances are you won't get there until you make that identity shift, no? So going back to this particular episode, diba? So what I mentioned is results follow behavior, behavior follow identity. And saan nagagaling identity natin? No? It's in our beliefs and our stories. No? So we talked about stories in episode 3. And these stories are sila nag-contribute sa belief. Now, let's go back to the 3 things I said kanina on the reasons why why it took me so long to come out with episode 5. And note that these reasons are merely stories. Number one, I didn't have time. That was a story I was telling myself. When in fact, I do have time. If I didn't have time, I wouldn't be recording this at the moment. Number two, the second story, I was telling myself that I needed to be inspired, and that at that moment, I wasn't inspired. So that was a story. Number three is I didn't have enough listeners. No? So I was telling the story I was telling myself is the number of listenership, the number of people listening. Um, Parang it was a definition of the quality of my content, or the quality of my podcast, or the quality of me as a podcaster. No? So with these stories, my identity was a busy, uninspired, unsuccessful podcaster. Diba? So my identity was I was busy, 'di ba? And even though I would have buckets of free time, because my identity was I was busy and that I had to do a lot of things. Pinuno ko yung whatever free time I had with busy stuff, 'di ba? That na meron akong ginagawa, even if it's not super productive, like cellphone lang ganyan. My identity was I was uninspired. Diba? I was waiting for inspiration to come. I was waiting for me to have some sort of moment na, game lang, and then I'll write, and then I'll record. But because my identity was uninspired, I kept myself closed off from inspiration. Kasi uninspired ako eh. Diba? Rather than being open and just letting it flow, like what I did actually. I just wrote a couple of lines and I was surprised after siguro mga 5 to 10 minutes. Ang dami ko actually nasulat for this episode. And thirdly, my story was, or my identity was, I was an unsuccessful podcaster. Right? If I was successful, then marami dapat nag-listen sa akin. But again, that's a story. And because my identity was I was an unsuccessful podcaster, bakit pa ako mag-focus on recording another episode? Diba? But it was when I made the shift. I found myself making the shift that I'm a podcaster who touch people's lives, regardless of how many people actually listen. No? I'm a podcaster who touch people's lives. And when I come from that place, it time makes time for itself. I don't know how to explain it, but I wrote this episode last night, and like today I've had a lot of time to do a lot of things, and especially this recording this. Um, I'm a podcaster who touches people's lives, and coming from that, it inspired me to write this particular episode. And I'm a podcaster who touches people's lives, regardless of how many people are listening. Because wala, as long as I do, regardless if it's 1 or 100 or a million, diba? I'll keep on doing this. So, interesting lang with inspiration. Kasi I planned this. I opened up my Evernote without inspiration nga, diba? And thought about my message. Tapos, yun, as I was saying, ang dami kong nalagay. And I think my one message for this whole episode is, remember that your results, whatever you want in life, whatever outcome you want, if it's money, if it's a business, if it's a job, a position, if it's a person, whatever your results you want in life, it will always stem from your identity. And the truth of the matter is, if you're not getting the results that you want, or if you're not able to do what you want to be doing, or what you know that you should be doing, the simple answer is it's not in your identity. Well, at least it's not in your identity right now. Diba? And I think recently, the reason why this resonates with me so much is I recently had a session with a mentor of mine. He's a business mentor, someone I look up to talaga. And I like him kasi he's very straightforward. And basically, sabi niya, ano ba yung goal mo? And I'll be upfront with everyone about my business goals. I want to earn 1 million a month. I want to earn 1 million a month. And I'm not there yet. Ever since working, I've never been there. Never pa ako umabot sa ganong level. I remember even saying na I tried doing everything na which he didn't buy and I didn't buy myself then. I think I just blurted it out. So again, belief lang din yan. But here's the interesting thing, and he was very straightforward about it. Sabi niya sa akin, kaya wala ako sa 1 million a month was because I didn't have the identity na 1 million a month. I didn't believe na kaya kong maging 1 million a month. I didn't believe that I was a person who was capable or worthy of being someone that can make 1 million a month. And he was still straightforward about it. And parang sabi ko, oo nga, wow, galing. Ganyan. So medyo na mind blown ako doon. And parang syempre, was examining myself. Parang isipin ko, syempre, I envision myself as the guy, 1 million a month, envision ko siya. And, pero wala, parang inisip ko, pero ba't wala nangyayari? And I can tell him, tagal ko nang ini-envision yun. Parang clear sa akin yun, pero hanggang ngayon, wala pa din. And I am reminded by a teaching from another mentor. And dito ako sa mentors ko kasi very straightforward sila. And they use examples that are very clear to me. And I'd like to share them with you. No? So imagine na meron akong house and lot. Come to my house and lot and then you look at my backyard, may mango tree doon. If may mango tree doon, ano yung tinanim ko? If may mango tree, I'll give you 5 seconds to think about it. If I have a mango tree at the back of my yard, what did I plant? What did I plant? Okay. So probably most of you, or not, if not all of you, will say, well, mango yung tinanim mo. Kaya mango tree siya. If the mango is your answer, I want you to think about that. And I want you to think whether itatayaan nyo ba yung buhay niya on telling me na hindi 100% sure mango yung tinanim mo. Give you 5 seconds. Are you 100% sure, 1,000% sure na mango yung tinanim ko? That's why I have a mango tree in my backyard. Okay? So regardless of your answer, the answer is mango. Mango yung tinanim ko. But a lot of us, like me in this example, we try to contest na parang hindi, lemon yung tinanim ko. Lemon talaga. Pero makikita mo naman based on the results na mango siya. Imposible naman na lemon yung tinanim ko, tas mango yung lumabas. Diba? So, when we think that we believe a certain identity or a certain thing, for example ako, I was telling my mentor na parang, naniniwala akong kaya ko mag 1 million. But based on result, wala si 1 million. Then para kung kino-contest, parang sinasabi na, hindi. Tinanim ko in my mind, in my heart, na I was worthy of 1 million. And the results are showing na hindi. Diba? So that's something I check. Now, if my results are saying this, and I'm telling myself, my conscious mind is telling myself, na naniniwala naman ako, then probably something deeper in me, like my subconscious, and at the subconscious level, do I really, really, really believe that I'm worthy and that I'm capable? To be upfront, during that conversation, I realized that I was still doubting my capabilities to be able to do it or whether it was possible. And yeah, so that was a wake-up call for me. And I know it's pretty straightforward, but I invite you to look into the results that you have and the results that you want. Kung yun yung mga puno sa backyard niyo, then it's pretty clear naman kung ano yung tinanim. Nyo. Let's not parang you can contest it with me. I mean, I won't argue with you, but this is what I'm saying. Whether you believe it or not. Kung ano yung results mo, yun din yung tinanim natin. Okay? And to give you more insights or illustrations now of this idea of kung ano yung results mo, yung identity mo, madalas mo narinig yung example na to, lotto winners. Na sobrang daming lotto winners, whatever they, parang, especially yung mga poor, sabihin natin, mga poor na nananalo ng lotto, after a while, ang tendency, di ba, nawawala din yung money nila and they go back to being poor. Why? Kasi their identity is poor sila eh. Even if, whether wala silang money or may money sila, the identity is poor. So the behavior will always be the behaviors of someone who identifies himself or herself as poor. And the result, nagiging mawalan ng money. In the same way, there is something, parang sinasabi nila na I've heard this na if you get all the money in the world and you divide it equally among everyone in the world, after mga 2 years, everyone will go back to having what they had nung nag-start yung whatever experiment na yan. Because that's their identity. No? And I like using the thermostat example. Have you ever had that experience? Kasi parang sinasabi nila na I've heard a lot of people say, mga si Tony Robbins, that we are like a thermostat when it comes to who we believe ourselves to be. No? So, ang thermostat, di ba, for example, in a room, sabihin natin the thermostat is set at 21 degrees, yung aircon. And then, kapag the room suddenly becomes 25 degrees, ang gagawin ng thermostat is it will cool down the room to bring down the room's temperature to 20 to 21. At the same time, kapag biglang lumamig sa room, biglang naging 17 degrees sa room, it will turn up the heaters para bumalik sa 21 yung temperature, di ba? And we're the same way. No? Have you ever had that experience, or have you ever seen anyone with the experience na they looked super down? Na parang alam mo, this person, gantong level siya eh. Let's say, maganda example, entrepreneur, Lodi, parang people are looking up to this person, and then, I don't know, biglang he or she experienced some downfall, nagka-problem sa business or personal, and then biglang naging super sad siya. And then eventually you would see this person pick himself or herself up and get back to that. Na parang, galing, you were able to pick yourself back up, right? May masamang nangyari. Hindi, just pick yourself up. Let's continue. No? Again, with weight, pwede siya. Diba? Parang nakita mo na nagbakasyon tong person na to, tumaba siya, pero because super committed siya sa gym, ganyan, eventually babalik siya sa normal shape niya. No? Because that's how we work. Para tayong thermostat. When we are lower than where we believe na dapat andun tayo, we naturally pick ourselves up. Now, the danger of this setting naman, of this natural setting of ours, is baliktad. The opposite works. If we're suddenly experiencing super awesome things in our lives, we're receiving money na way above what we normally receive. If our business is booming way above how we normally like it to be, if our relationships are doing super well, what do? Diba? We self-sabotage them. Kasi parang, wait lang, hindi ka dapat nasa level na to eh. So ourselves, we naturally pull ourselves down. Diba? Na parang, I know, parang you'd see this sa mga movies, sa TV shows, or even in real life, wherein there would be couples na sobrang, parang, sabihin natin, si girl and boy, no? Tapos si boy, for some reason, sobrang lambing niya. As in, pinakamalambing that he's ever been sa buong relationship ni girl and boy. Ano yung isipin ni girl? Ay, nako, may babae to. Diba? Diba? Parang, there would be a natural self-sabotage na parang, this is too good to be true. Sige, let's do whatever it takes to get back to the level that we know or we believe na andun tayo. Diba? With weight, for example, nakita mo, pumapayat na yung tao. Like ako, nagkita ako, pumapayat na ako, ang galing. But again, it goes back to my identity na, wait, 82 kilos ka, Jillian. Wait lang, kain ka ba? Ito, ganyan. Until, bumalik ako dun sa weight na yan. No? But the thing is, our identity can be separate from the results. And sometimes it's hard to think about that. But stay with me here. Our identity, who we believe ourselves to be, or who we are, can be separate from the results that tell us otherwise. I'll give you an example. I like using the weight example because it's been real for me. For the longest time, I've identified myself as mataba. So I've stayed that way. But now I think what's working for me, that's why I was able to lose weight and maintain that, was ang identity ko ngayon is I'm a healthy person. I'm a fit person. And when I was weighing, let's say, I was starting to lose weight konti, 80 kilos, I'm a healthy and fit person. Yun ang identity ko. And I just happened to have 80 kilos at that time. Yan lang. Um, Hindi siya, um, it doesn't have to be 80 kilos will define who I am. No? Um, yeah, by the way, what I'm getting to now is, so I think I've made clear naman now this whole identity behavior results thing. Now what I want to get at is, before I end, what I want to get at is two ways for you to get the results that you want by changing your identity. So I want to share with you two ways on how to change your identity. And number one is changing your stories. Diba? So dito napapasok what I was saying. Sorry, na-skip ko kasi yan. What I was saying about my identity of being a healthy and fit person. And it's just, weight ko is 80 kilos or now 76 kilos. Because the story before was, whatever my weight is, that will determine my identity. Diba? Nakita ko 82, I'm 82 kilos, therefore I'm fat. I need to be 69 kilos for me to be tama lang. Diba? But now, sinunich ko, I start from my identity. Na my story now is my weight doesn't necessarily have to define my identity. So now I'm a healthy and fit person who is 76 kilos. No? For people na who find it difficult to feel abundant kasi makikita mo sa bank account nila nasa minimum or below minimum and it's being drained, you can also choose to change your identity or change your story na you are an abundant person. Ang identity mo is you're an abundant. It just so happens na nade-deplete yung bank account mo right now. Diba? But you're still an abundant person. It's just that you don't have cash right now. But you are still an abundant person. Diba? I remember, ano ba to? This was on Facebook, and then parang we were having a conversation lang on one of the posts, on a group post, and then I was sharing tips on getting referrals for freelance business, and then there was one person, sabi niya, natakot siya to ask for referrals kasi what if she fails daw, tapos masisira daw yung relationship nung referrer tsaka referee, di ba? And I told her, yes, that's a possibility. That story, and again, it's a story. That story is a possibility. No, but the fact is, it's a story, and you can also choose to believe the story na what if you do a good job and you're even able to bring these two people together. Na parang, uy, thank you nun sa ni-refer mo. Sobrang okay na ng business namin ngayon. Diba? And you'll notice how her belief, her story, the story she was choosing, it tied into her identity. No, ang identity niya was someone na hindi magaling that can potentially ruin a friendship. And because of that, she was not asking for referrals. And because she was not acquisitive behavior, and because she was not asking for referrals, she didn't get the referrals, which is a result. But if she chooses to change the story, and again, these are merely stories, na she was someone who had the skills to actually help a person na because ni-refer siya ng one person, the relationship is now better. Her identity is now someone na magaling na can actually bring people together. And when she chooses to come from that identity, she's now able to ask for referral confidently. And then she gets the referral. Diba? So simply by changing the stories that you choose to believe, you can start to shift your identity. And that will help with the result. No? Finally, someone from a student of mine, I'm very, very proud of her. But I was talking with her about sabi niya, one of her concerns was that I'm an introvert and it's hard for me to engage with other people. And the result, syempre, parang nahihirapan kumuha to do prospecting and nahihirapan kumuha ng clients. No? And I told her, and I don't know where this came from. No? Na parang, I was telling her, and this is the second thing that I want you to see when you want to change your identity into an identity that works for you. So I asked the student of mine, sabi niya introvert siya, nahihirapan siya mag-engage. So I asked her, was there ever a time in your life wherein hindi ka nahihirapan mag-engage? a time in your life when people looked up to you, a time when people sought you for the answers. Ikaw yung may sagot, ikaw yung expert. And then I think it hit her that there was, kasi she used to be a teacher and um she loved what she was doing. And I told her, this person, this teacher na ikaw, it's still you today, no? You're still that person. And circumstances might change, no? Baka before it was a classroom, now it's online. She does Facebook ads kasi. So before it was whatever subject matter she was teaching, and now it was Facebook ads. Before it was students, now it was prospective clients. No? It's still her. And whatever she was coming from that allowed her to do that, despite being an introvert, as she was saying, maybe it was coming from love for her students, care for her students, being committed to her job. These are all values that are all innate to her, and innate in all of us. And she can still choose to come from that identity, and that will allow her um, to get the results that she wants, which is being able to do prospecting and get clients. No, and I was happy to feel her light up naman, um, and a new freshly found confidence ganyan. So if you're feeling na parang ay wala kasi well, I don't have that identity hindi ako extrovert or hindi ako magaling sa ganyan try to see, was there ever a time in your life when you were this person or you embodied the identity that can help you, diba? Kasi that's still you. If you're feeling na you're afraid, you don't have courage, was there ever a time in your life when you exhibited courage kahit isa lang? Maybe nag bungee jump ka kung takot ka sa heights or whatever, or nung bata ka, as in nung baby, even if you don't remember, na wala kang pakialam kung madapa ka pero you just wanted to enjoy and run, and kahit na madapa ka, okay lang, I'm brave, you're being courageous, you're being trusting, that is still you. Whoever you were, whatever you exhibited before, whatever values that those are still innate in you, and you can choose to come um, from those values. No. So was there ever a time in your life wherein you exhibited values that allowed you to be this person? Diba? If you feel like you have to be a loving person, a compassionate person, a trusting person, a committed person, was there ever a time in your life wherein you exhibited being committed, being loving, being compassionate, being trusting? Whatever would work for you to get the results that you want. Whatever allowed you to be this person. Was there ever a time in your life wherein you had stories or had beliefs that allowed you to be the person that you want to be? Because you're still that person. No. Now, so how do you choose? How do you choose those values? How do you choose to come from those values? Or how do you choose to believe the stories that will work for you? Kasi parang dali sabihin just choose the story. No? I'm reminded by, and this is to end lang, no? I'm reminded by my school. I came from Ateneo. And if you're familiar with the Ateneo logo, may part doon na, so may chain. Under the chain is a pot na nakahang. So nakahang yung pot with food. I think it was leftover food. And during medieval times yata, I forgot what it's called, pero doon nilalagay yung mga leftovers. Tapos yung mga wolves, yun yung kakainan nila. Now, in the logo of Ateneo, there's the chain, and then there's the pot, and then there are two wolves sa left tsaka sa right. And the story of that logo was parang tawag dito. The story of the logo was a student was asking his teacher kasi parang there were two wolves. So there was the good wolf and the bad wolf. So the student was asking the teacher, who will win? Kung may pagkain dyan, may good wolf, may bad wolf, who will win and get the food? And the answer of the teacher was, the one you feed. Who will win in the battle between good and evil? Whichever you feed. No? So there are lots of beliefs, lots of stories. that come our way, that come through our mind. I am not enough. I am enough. I am not worthy. I am worthy. I am bad. I am good. I am a trusting person. I am not a trusting person. I am abundant. I'm not abundant. Maraming stories, maraming beliefs that fly around us. And who will win? Who will win? Which story will win in your mind? Which story will help you, or which story will take over your, or which belief will take over your identity? It's the one you feed. It's the one you choose to feed. Okay? So the beliefs and the stories will always be there. It's no one's fault. It will just be there. But the one that will work, or the one that will help us move forward, whether it's to get our goals or not, or to not get our goals, it will be the one you choose and the one you feed. All right. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode. Um, so like us on Facebook just to stay updated. Like us on Facebook, and also join our group. So I'm building this Facebook group for this community. I want us to be a community. Please look for Dream Nation PH on Facebook. So that's a Facebook group. So thank you, and I look forward to the next episode. Thank you.